we've got our first sneak peek at the upcoming holiday update. Not gonna say any more. Let's watch the video. Kitty cats are coming to the last day on Earth. Let's take this back just a quick couple of frames here. Let's see if we notice anything. There's some interesting stuff. We see a couple of Christmas decorations. We see a couple other things. I see a little like Doberman puppy over here with a list, which is kind of interesting. We see a little cat toy. We see special delivery here. We see a few things related to fish, tuna here. Whatever these are, I don't know. There looks like there's some cat food or some fish or something meat up there. A whole bunch of cans on the ground. There's a picture of fish here in the corner. Not a ton of additional details, but let's do some speculation and talk about what this could mean. They did talk about in the holiday release and what was coming up. We do expect the co-op update, of course. The Boggy region did get pushed back, if you're not familiar, if you're not super up to date on the news. And it looks like we're getting a new friend in the old hideout, which could be pretty interesting. So I see a little cat toy maybe right here and some other things. Cat teaser is the name of this video. Let's minimize, let's jump in and see what we got. And let's spend just a few minutes talking about what we know, time frame, and official info. So this was posted on the official last day on our Discord. At this point, probably a couple of days because we're doing some advanced recording. And here's what I want to do. I'm just going to speculate a little bit. Hideout cats are interesting. It's the second animal that we have available to us, and I think everybody at this point is pretty familiar with dogs. Now, here is where my first concern maybe comes from. If we get a cat house or something to house these, that could be pretty cool. Maybe a couple of different items. You know, we've got the dog crate over here, which is neat. We've seen an upgrade to this in one of the recent updates for the Genesis Zone. And this, I would also say, is, I'm going to speculate, not going to be tied necessarily maybe to any specific locations. I could be wrong on that, and we could see future iterations of different cats come forward. But dogs are relatively pretty quickly attainable, and I'm wondering when we will see this in the Survivor's Path. Now, one of the other things that I think is very reasonable with this is that if we're going to get cats and if we're going to be able to feed them, potentially even grow them, similar to our dogs that we can do now, that we might also get some perks with them. And we can, of course, speculate on what those would be. But to be honest with you, I am hopeful that if that is the case, if we have cats now running around our base, jumping on our storages and hanging out, that we get some good just passive perks. I really don't see a world in which we're going to get another companion. You already have the dog, you already have the drone, and I don't see these being something that we're going to take with us necessarily. So I'm hoping if they do get traits, and it is just beyond like a cosmetic type thing, which it very well could be. There is a world in which this cat is just purely cosmetic. It's like the holiday reward, and that's what it is, which again wouldn't be the worst thing ever, be kind of neat. But it seems like a little bit bigger than that, especially when they're saying go get some fish, because that implies that there's a good chance that we'll have to feed them. Then I would expect we would see similar things to how the dogs work with some passive perks. Now, what could I hope for passive perks? I'm going to be honest with you. I hope a lot of them are not what we have with the dogs. I hope there's some new stuff. I hope there's boosts to certain things. We've seen an update to the healer where, we got some new stuff like specific damages that we can do, specific additional percentages to find things. I'm just going to go see if my healer is up at this point. I would like to see some passive perks related to some of that, to looting, maybe even passive perks specific to finding special zombies. That way helping a little bit of our raider tasks, maybe even helping us be light of foot as kitty cats can be, and maybe make less noise for raiding purposes. I think there's a lot of different avenues and options that you can take with you. As we take a look at the dogs, and they all have a specific set that is common, and then each breed has its own special set of additional perks that we can get. I really just hope, again, they're good, solid, passive perks. I would love to see like an overall damage boost to all companions, drones and dogs, right? That would feel really, really nice, and could be an interesting one. It could be one of the more rare perks if we want to go down that route. You know, I really don't think we need to see like companion and careful and well stocked and all of that kind of stuff. Maybe well stocked for decreasing of food. It's really going to depend on how much fish we have to feed, is also something I'm going to be interested to see if that ends up being the case. And then again, we see some cool stuff. I am very hopeful, again, from a speculation standpoint, I'm hopeful that if we do see perks, these are just general good overall perks. I'd love to see reduction of like gas usage, for instance. It might seem silly for a cat to give us that, but reducing the travel time to and fro, maybe reducing the energy burn for fast traveling could be really, really neat. Some of that stuff I think could be really, really helpful. One of the other perks, and one of the few perks that I really do hope we do see for the cats, if they are truly just kind of at our base and not going to be traveling with us, I would love to see Lucky on the cats. I would love to have another route for folks to be able to go and get this, because again, when you think about the dogs, these are the two best perks. Now there are other very, very good perks, especially if you have companions, but when you think about universally good perks, you want True Friend and you want a corgi that can be Lucky. That way they're bringing you a little bit of gold. I'd love to see this one come back. I think that'd be really, really interesting. The last thing I want to, and again, I could continue to spew on different thoughts and other speculations. Again, we don't know very much. I would expect, since we're getting kind of a sneak peek, we probably got another 2 weeks, week and a half maybe or so before we start seeing some of the updates. Typically when they do this kind of winter event, it usually spans like about a week before Christmas, and then about a week after or up until the New Year's is pretty typical. If we're going to get a Winter of Despair, which we know, in addition to some co-op updates, I have a feeling this one's going to be pretty big. So those events are probably going to last for a little while, which will be pretty neat. And the nice part is lots of folks do get some time off over the holidays, and hopefully it'll be a good opportunity to play with your clan. On the clans, before I get to my final thoughts here on the kitty cats, is I'm finalizing a few things for the Discord. Hopefully, maybe even by the time you see this video, they will be up. We're going to have ways to search out and find some clans if you want to join our Discord. Clan leaders, if you're looking for folks and want to fill up your clans, I'm going to have some resources there, hopefully at least a chat and a couple other things that I think will help for folks to get into a clan, find some folks that play at similar times and do those things. So links in the description. Obviously hit the subscribe button on our video and follow us, but more importantly, come over to our Discord and link up for some clan action as well. And hopefully it's a good place for you to be able to do that. The last thing I want to talk about really quickly is if we go down the route of them being a companion based at your home base, I hope we find a better way to handle breeding and traits. Now, there's only so much we can do from a breeding standpoint. Males and females is still going to probably be a thing if they go that. You're still going to have to level them up and breed them. I don't think we're going to move like super far away from that, to be honest with you. But I really do hope there's a different track for either leveling up these cats. Maybe they can get experience somehow. Maybe we can feed them and they can level up. I don't know. I am so hopeful that there's a little bit of a new system that gives a little bit more control over the perks that you can get, instead of it truly being RNG. A little bit of RNG is okay, but the way that we deal with dogs right now is just really, really rough. And so I'm hopeful, very, very hopeful, that we find a different way to handle how we go about getting different breeds, and more importantly, different levels of kitty cats at our base. I'd love to see a level up system. I'd love to be able to get a single cat and then be able to feed it and do other things and go, you know, have like seasonal missions that get it experience or something like that, that you could then get kind of like a perk tree, have the traits laid out, and maybe they're ranked and you unlock them and have to choose based on the level that it's at, that you get something else, or you can level it up. Maybe it's like you get, I'm going to use well-stocked, although again, I hope this doesn't come back, but maybe you could get like well-stocked, and then when you take it up to level 3, you can increase the percentage that this impacts. I think that would be a really, really neat system. And I am also worried about, if it is a breeding related, how we're just going to have to continuously find more and more cats, and we already have the search for dogs. None of that's bad. It's grindy. It's going to be grindy, but I would rather the grind be something a little bit more in our control. I think that would be kind of neat. So let me know what you think. That's what we know. Some very initial quick sneak peek on cats. Holiday update is on its way. We're in the festive mood here. And thanks for checking this one out. We'll bring you all of the news. So if you are interested to see all about co-op and the clan update and what Winter of Despair, we always jump headfirst into all of that stuff. So be sure to give us a follow. We're on the road to 10,000 subs, cracking close to 5,000. 10,000 is our next big channel milestone. We really appreciate all the support. Wishing you and yours very, very happy holidays and excited for what's to come here for Last Day on Earth. Catch you in the next one. Peace.